So I am making Spanish rice and tacos tonight, with a little helper strapped to my chest. I'm currently starting off with a large deep skillet, and I'm heating up some oil. I got my lid over here, and I got all of my spices over here. I'm gonna end up using the same spices for the taco meat, but I know a lot of people just like using the taco seasoning packets whenever they make tacos. I can record, or I probably will record, seasoning up the ground beef, and cooking that up. But we are gonna be making 2 cups of rice because tomorrow I'm making enchiladas, with the Old El Paso enchilada sauce, both mild and hot, or medium. Oh my, it's so cute. So now that this is getting all nice and heated up, I'm going to pour the rice in. And that's 2 cups of rice that we have in there. And we're going to be browning the rice. Now make sure that the rice is evenly coated in oil. This is going to help with browning it. My pot that I normally make rice in is soaking in the sink from empanadas yesterday because the oil is stuck to the bottom of it. But this works out better than the small pot because it helps you get more of your rice down and cooking and browning. My mom, whenever she makes Spanish rice, she does it in a skillet like this. And so we're just gonna continue browning it, stirring it fairly often. You don't have to stir it constantly, but you don't want to not stir it often enough because then you can burn whatever rice is at the bottom of the skillet, and you don't want to do that. Nobody likes burnt rice. And I like to try to smooth it out whenever I can. But it's not a really necessary step. So we are continuing to brown the rice. It's not quite ready yet. My camera wants to focus. Okay, Annie, baby, no, you cannot touch the skillet. Thank you. That's gonna burn. It will. Focus camera. There we go. So as you can see, the rice is still browning. It's not quite ready yet to add in the water. I have 2 cups of rice in here, so I'm going to be using 4 cups of water, and I will be reducing the heat from medium heat. Okay, slightly higher than medium heat. And then once we add in the water, we will be starting on our spices. And once we get all the spices in, then we can start on our hamburger. Okay, so we are looking at the rice still. It's still browning. It's actually starting to look, because you see there's still some pieces that are on the clearer side, so starting to go through, and then you have other pieces where it's starting to get more actually brown. It's also very important to go scraping the sides. Make sure you get the sides while you're browning your rice. But as you can see, this is what we mean by browning the rice. It goes from that clearish white looking color to a more solid white to slightly brown. toasty cream, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a color person. Neither is my husband, so. But it is about, yeah, I'd say right here, how it looks right now. We can go ahead, reduce the heat, and add in our water. So remember, we got 2 cups of rice, so it's going to be 4 cups of water. Okay, so we got our 2 cups of water, or 4 cups of water into our 2 cups of rice. That's been browned. We're going to start off with tomato bouillon. I need my big silverware spoon to scoop out a scoop and a half. I need both hands to get the scoop out first, and then I will show you guys. My thing wants to scoop. Okay, so I have about that full of a large silverware spoonful. There's one, and then I'm going to do about half of that. I'm going to show you. See, about half. Throw that in. Next is going to be our chili powder. Doing this one-handed. Chili powder. And like we did with the ancho arroz con pollo before, it's gonna be equal amounts of chili, cumin, and just lightly almost paprika. Sorry. Just lightly almost paprika, for how much you're putting in. I wish they had this as a flip top instead of a twist top. There we go. Cumin. About the same amount of cumin. Next we're going to go with our onion powder. And everything has to be a twist top. Onion. Get a nice amount of onion in there. And then we're going to do about half that amount that we just put in with onion. And yeah, this is garlic. I'm going to have to put my phone down to open this one. Okay, garlic powder. About that much garlic. We're going to be tasting the seasonings after about 5 minutes just to make sure it all tastes right. If we need to tweak anything, we can tweak it. Paprika, regular paprika, not smoked. Smoked paprika will throw off the taste. Now, the caldo tomate or tomato bouillon is on the saltier side, so we are still going to be adding in our salt. We're just going to go a little bit light. We can always add more salt. Taking away salt is a little bit more tricky. Salt. And black pepper. I got the restaurant style black pepper. He likes the big pepper. My husband does. And we're going to add a little bit of oregano, and I have to go find a little pouch for my cilantro. I have to put the phone down again because everything has to be a twist top. Okay. Oregano. See, just a light amount. Not so much where it's going to be overpowering, but it's still going to give a nice flavor. I will be describing the flavor to you guys as best as I can because I know I do not measure anything. My mama never measured anything when we were growing up and she was teaching us how to cook. Here we are added in the cilantro. You can see that little line. Get the spices off the back of the spoon. Stir it all in. It has a nice nice, beautiful color to it. I have to find my spoon caddy, and we're gonna put the lid on it. So we're gonna give it about 5 minutes. We're gonna taste the water or the rice to make sure that it has a nice flavor. And as we are putting the lid on, we will be starting to turn on our hamburger or ground beef so we can use all these seasonings again to make our tacos. Now, oh, you're okay. With the hamburger for the taco or ground chicken, if you want to try ground chicken, because that's also really good, I start seasoning it before it starts cooking. That way it can cook into the meat. So again, we're gonna go in with our chili first. We're gonna follow a similar pattern with chili, cumin, onion, garlic, paprika, with roughly the same amounts. Now our cumin. So I have just a little over a pound here. For reference, I had a 2-pound package. I had it where it's just past the halfway point, because I'm using some ground beef tomorrow for enchiladas, because I'm doing both chicken and beef enchiladas. So that was our onion powder. We're going to add in our garlic. No, you do not need the onion powder. Thank you, sir. I'm gonna have to pick up more paprika. I'm gonna put that on the grocery list. Regular paprika. Salt. I still go light on the salt with this, even though I'm not adding in the cada tomate. Just because I don't like giving my kids a lot of salt. And lastly, our black pepper. My oldest doesn't like a whole lot of spicy, but he does like the flavor of like black pepper and whatnot. My youngest just loves food now that he can eat regular people food instead of baby carries. And yeah, I'm using the same spoon that I used with the rice. It's gonna cook down. The water's gonna be hot enough. I have not been food poisoned once doing this. Neither has my mom. Toad! Okay, baby. I highly recommend, if you guys are able to put on some Studio Ghibli movies. Like my kiddo, he just finished watching Howl's Moving Castle. That's personally one of my favorites. We watched Kiki's Delivery Service earlier today. I think I might be putting on Lapta Castle in the Sky, or Nasuka. It's Castle in the Sky. But the music is beautiful. The transitions from scenes is, oh, you don't need to touch that. The transitions from the movie scenes is really nice. It's slower paced, so it's not so hectic. Will you stop touching the element? I know, it is a circle, but it is not edible. That's not gonna help you, but we're grinding the meat up so we can have our nice little taco meat. As we're grinding it up, we are mixing the seasoning into the rest of the beef as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause this because we still have another like 2 minutes before we check the rice. And this is also part of the reason why I like adding the seasonings at the beginning because from the looks of it, I need a little bit more. So we're gonna add a little bit more of everything. Not too much more. Just enough so everything's nice and seasoned. That was the cumin. We did the chili first, the cumin. Onion. Garlic. Paprika. I'm not going to change the amount of salt and black pepper that I added in just because that looks nice when I did add it in. And a little bit more paprika. And we'll mix that in and we got to taste the water for the rice. That silverware spoon that I used to add in the garlic mate with the rice is the... No, you cannot have the onion. You are adorable. You cannot have onion powder. I am so sorry. Your grievances have been heard. But you're going to be having tacos once they're all done cooking. You see? That's looking so much better. Nice and well seasoned. But as I was saying, we're going to use our silverware spoon from when we're adding in the gato tomate to taste the rice. That has a really good flavor. I'm gonna go ahead and put the spoon in there. I'm gonna put the lid back on it because I don't believe we need to tweak it. It has that traditional Spanish flavor, so if you had, it's not going to taste like the Spanish rice that you've had at restaurants, mainly because they do it differently at restaurants. But if you had their like fajitas or their tacos, that flavorful spice where it's like, it's not so spicy that it's burning your mouth or your tongue or anything like that, but you can taste the spice in it. That's what you want. You can taste a little bit of the chili and the cumin and paprika. You have that slight bit of saltiness from the onion and garlic that's so savory and flavorful. And that's essentially what you're gonna have with the taco meat as well. With how I did the seasonings, that's what we're looking at. And we have leftover pico de gallo from Monday that will be going on top. So once the rice is done and the taco meat is done, dinner will be done. So I hope you guys enjoy and let me know if you tried this out.